All right, what's up, everybody? So I'm gonna give some time to everybody tap in, but today we're gonna interview Atkins Nature Aquariums, and I'm just waiting for my boy to go on. Oh, I forgot to tell him to go on, but he should hop on. There he is. What's up, G? There's my boy Atkins. Let me send you the link, bro. William Chocan, thank you for joining. Today's gonna be an interview with Atkins. We're just waiting for my boy to go on. All right, here's the link. I say it just gives us some time for people to come in and tap in. And again, guys, we're gonna have the video screens, so you guys could oh shit, so we could search. Oh snap! All right, let me put this phone in charge. So, anyways, oh yeah, the call-in number. If you guys want to call in and ask questions, or if you guys want to join the live, also, there's a 2-minute rule. If you go on live, but putting the wrong numbers. So if you join the StreamYard, there's a 2-minute what's it called? There's gonna be a 2-minute for you, so you could ask your question or whatever the fuck, and then you need to be booted out. That way you don't take the stage from our guest. But today's guest is gonna be Atkins Nature Aquariums. So make sure you go tap in. So we're gonna go look at his. Let me go look at his things right now. Watch. Make sure you go subscribe. Hold on, let me go to Cast TV real quick. All right, there you go. So we got Atkins. There's his YouTube, but that's gonna be our interview guest right now. I think he's just preparing to set up, but make sure you tap in, guys. This is gonna be a real interesting one. All right, let's see. And then if anybody wants to come in, here's a video link. Like I said, there's a 2-minute if you want to go in, but you got to sign up to StreamYard. Otherwise, you could just call in. Let me charge this phone real quick. All right, there you go. All right, so once Atkins taps in, I'm gonna put on my I gotta make sure my headphones are on. Okay, that way I could hear him. All right, so we fixed all the technical difficulties. I'm pretty sure I fixed them. Let me know if you guys could hear me. If you guys could hear me, fucking type in anything. That shit will help me out. I guess yesterday I went on and then I didn't even put on my Roadcaster on. But right now you can see the Roadcaster, and then in the background it's actually Santa Cruz, California. So if you look at my background right now, oh shit! There. So anyways, we got Atkins in the house actually. So let's see. Hey Atkins, what's up, G? Could you hear me, bro?
What's up? Yep, I hear you.
Right on, brother. It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you, man.
All right,
We
brother.
finally got it.
Heck yeah, dude. It took a while, and like I told you, it was just a button on the laptop. I'm like, oh man, but I finally
Oh,
figured it out, man.
sweet, sweet.
All right, so So everybody, I just want to introduce you guys Atkins. Uh, so this is his fish tank. I always tell my guests they don't have to show their face, so that's optional, but definitely tanks are always mandatory. But anyways, Atkins, I want to start off with you, man. So anyways, when and how did he get into the hobby, bro?
So it started like in 2019
Oh, okay.
and with freshwater.
Uh-huh.
Started with catching native fish out of the river, bringing them home, and kind of spiraled from there. Kept getting more tanks, more freshwater. I was always into the fish when I was younger, like catching fish and learning what the fish are and putting them back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of new keeping these fish, but still got quite a bit going on now.
Oh, right on, right on. And you said you used to capture fish from locally. What kind of fish you used to get and throw them in your tanks?
So like sunfish, we had pumpkin seed bluegills. There's sculpins,
Mm-hmm.
also
Right on.
perch. Kept a couple catfish too.
Yes. You kept a couple cats also. Right on.
Yeah. And then there was this one fish that I've still never been able to identify.
Oh, really?
And I think it's an invasive goby. Like it's totally not native, but it acted like a goby, and I kept it in a fish tank for like a year,
Mm-hmm.
and it was totally like a, it was freshwater, but it acted like a saltwater goby. It would pick up rocks and spit them on the sand of the substrate. It had a little circular pelvic fin, and it would suck
Uh-huh.
to the glass like a
Interesting. That.
goby.
Yeah, yeah.
And it had the face of a saltwater goby too, but it's freshwater. And I was looking through all the freshwater census, fish census for my
Mm-hmm.
area,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing like that pops up.
Yeah, and it's very possible it could have been a brackish water from a different part of the world or something. That's crazy, man. I've, you ever seen a picture of it or any other
Yeah, I
fish
have a
like
pic.
it?
So far, I'm the only one that has a picture of it, but I'm planning a fishing trip to go back and get better pictures to identify it.
Oh, so you still have the fish?
I don't have it, but I had pictures.
Oh, you
One
have.
picture.
Damn.
I didn't take a whole lot of pictures or film when I first started,
Uh-huh.
but I have a couple pictures of my old tanks. I don't know how I can show them on here though.
Hey,
RG Reef, what up?
do you have your Instagram? Is it
Yeah,
on?
but it's not on my Instagram.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. Yeah, if there was any way to pull it up, I could pull it up. But no, that's really cool, man. That maybe that's for future content. That'd be pretty cool to look at. No, right on,
Yeah.
bro. And then he said that happened in 2019. That's not long ago. So that was pre-pandemic, and then so what happened during the pandemic, or what were you at right before the pandemic?
So right before the pandemic, we only had a few tanks and it was all freshwater.
Okay.
And then the pandemic hit, and so I just stayed home and I learned a lot from the internet, talking to people like you and other streamers, you know,
Uh-huh.
and eventually started getting into saltwater and just did a lot of growing plants and breeding fish. Like we had pleco breeding colonies. We had like 4 tanks dedicated to one strain of guppies,
Wow.
and we were just line breeding those, selling them to the fish store, selling plants.
And so let me ask you. So how did all that get started? Like, what was your first real fish tank? Like, I know you said you brought in like a local fish, but what was your first like commercial fish tank? You know what I mean? Like act like fish in the hobby, not like local fish that we kind of do all as kids. But like, what was your first fish? Even if it was like a goldfish, what was your first commercial fish, like actual fish tank set up and everything?
Yeah, so the native fish started in a 20-gallon, and then I
Mm-hmm.
bought this 50-gallon here over over here.
Oh, that one right there.
And the this one right here, the 55, and
Oh,
I
okay,
made
okay,
that the
okay.
native. So I had this 20-gallon, and I was thinking, what can I do with that? So I went to the local fish store, and they
Mm-hmm.
showed me these cute little honey gouramis. It was a
Oh,
wild caught pair,
uh-huh.
and I brought them home. And then eventually I got some dwarf neon rainbow fish and some plecos,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually the honey gouramis started to breed, but I could never get any babies out of it. And
Oh,
then that's
right
kind
on.
of what triggered the inspiration that, oh, breeding fish is kind of cool and pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's the getting the fry to raise up is the hard part.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
watching the behaviors of the tropical fish was really cool.
No, that's really cool. Um, and what was your substrate then, or did you know anything about substrate, or do you just put whatever you
It
think
was
looked
gravel,
good? It was all straight
straight up
gravel.
gravel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now I'm a sand guy. I put sand in all my tanks. I have a couple bare bottom, but that's mainly just for maintenance and look.
Oh, right on. What kind of sand? What's the sand made out of?
So for fresh water, I go for a mixture of grain size, but
Mm-hmm.
it's mostly all natural like sand. I get the Quick Create all-purpose sand from Home Depot. It's like $7 for a 20-pound bag.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. That brownish one.
It's kind of brown. It's got a mixture of different colors, so it looks really natural.
Okay, right on, right on.
And I've also used black diamond blasting sand. I've used the Carib Sea freshwater sand. I've used, and here is the Carib Sea life or live sand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then just for our guests, all these sands, guys, they're made out of a different material. The
Yep.
saltwater one is made out of calcium carbonate, and then most freshwater sand, as long as they're not made out of some kind of rock or mineral that has a high base concentration or like a hydroxide in the rock, when you throw it in fresh water, it won't react to the acid in there. But other than that, most freshwater or most rocks are pretty safe for freshwater tanks, even saltwater. But they all might cause like algae issues and stuff. But anyways, Atkins, when you set up, let's go into setting up a fish tank. When you set up a fish tank, bro, what do you look for, or what do you think about um when you're gonna set up a new fish tank or something like that? Like for our new viewers, like who's never set up a fish tank, what would you recommend? What would be your first step?
Like a freshwater tank. Yeah,
Yeah, let's start out with the freshwater, and then since Atkins does both, you're gonna tell us about, since you're really, this is like more like you being like our educator, and me and everybody else are kind of like our students. So you tell us about fresh, and then if you kind of like compare it with the salt, or how would you do both? You know what I mean?
yeah. So with freshwater, really a planted tank, that's my goal is to keep a planted tank.
Mm-hmm.
And it really all has to be your substrate and light. If you can get your substrate down with the right amount of nutrients and sand layer,
Mm-hmm.
then your plants will be really happy. And
Right
also
on.
good light. So this is a really basic system.
Mm-hmm.
It has about a 3.5 inch substrate. The bottom inch, I don't know if you can see,
Yeah, I can
is
see.
aqua soil. It's like a nutrient rich substrate for plants. And I just got a bag of it, put it at the bottom, got about an inch, and then I capped it with sand, a ton of sand, like deep, deep sand. Put the plants in. The plants, when you get them, they're probably coming from a farm and grown out
Mm-hmm.
of water. So they're going to die back when you put them in the tank. But they
Yeah.
will grow as long as the roots are healthy and they're able to photosynthesize with the plants. Now this is duckweed. This is every plant keeper's herpes. Everybody's got duckweed. It's like FKT. Everybody's got it.
Yeah. But people put it on there on purpose though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I also recommend keeping your fish amount low and choosing plant safe fish. See a lot of people trying to keep a lot of non-plant safe fish with their plants. And I've tried to do it too, and it just doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm. And then quick question, you mentioned that these plants are raised in farms and when you put them in, they die off. Is it common for the whole plant to die off? And you said as long as the root, you think it'll grow back. That's
Yep.
something our customers, I mean our customers, fuck, I'm thinking I'm for in the store. Uh, that's what our guests might have a question, might ask.
Yeah, so it's very common for that to happen when you get new plants. They'll just completely melt and die off, and their first instinct is to just pull it out because they think it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
But really, you just want to leave it because the roots are holding all the energy for the plants,
Mm-hmm.
and they will send out new leaves, and the plant will bounce back.
Oh yeah, perfect, perfect. Yeah, because that's been my experience also, and you said that's a very common mistake because uh the whole tissue dies, the whole stalk of it dies, but there are thick roots, and people just make the mistake of taking it out. But I
Now,
saw.
if the roots are black and
Uh-huh.
all mushy, and they don't have any like white to them,
Oh, they're rotten.
that's a bad plant from the start,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
you don't want that plant. It's not gonna do good.
And by curiosity, what do you recommend to maintain like the healthy roots to plants and stuff?
So to maintain healthy roots is pretty simple. I don't do much
Mm-hmm.
except for when I'm planting. Initially, if the roots are quite small, I don't do anything. But if I got a plant and I'm putting it in, it's got a ton of roots, I'm going to trim the roots up to be a little bit shorter just to make it easier for
Oh,
planting. But
uh-huh.
it also will promote new root growth.
Right
And
on.
also trimming your plants periodically will promote new growth for your plants. And a
Right
lot of
on.
plants are really, really easy. They don't need fancy lighting or fancy CO2. I got like a $40 Amazon Pixie 30 from Illumina. I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was a hold on. It was a pixie. Yeah, yeah. Right on. And then what role does bacteria and the root structures is the bacteria really important for roots and plants and stuff?
Um, the bacteria is just going to grow. I mean, with a deep substrate, the thought is the anaerobic bacteria will eventually start to grow and take nitrates out of the water. But the plants are going to be doing that already.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's just helps keep the tank more stable. I've found in my experience tanks with less substrate in freshwater have more algae problems. They have just more cyanobacteria issues because I don't think there is enough bacteria to fight those uglies.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And then quick question. So you how a thick layer would you recommend people that have plants and people that don't have plants?
So I have one tank over here that does not have plants, and
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't have this thick substrate. It just has like maybe an inch, 2 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And I gravel back that substrate all the time because there are no plants that are taking out nutrients. And the only thing living in there is blackbeard algae. So the that's helping a little bit, but mainly I do all the water changes for them and keep all the water good.
Mm-hmm. Right on, right on. And then if you have plants, how thick of a layer do you recommend?
At least 3 inches.
At least
At
three
least
inches.
3 to 4 inches.
Okay, right on, right on. And now let's transition to salt. So what do you recommend for salt? Do you recommend sand or no sand? What do you
I
recommend?
think if it's a nano tank, sand, because it'll help have that surface area for bacteria. And nano tanks being nano tanks and very easy to lose control of things,
Mm-hmm.
I think the substrate helps. But I don't have a whole lot of experience with saltwater tanks and how they mature like 3 to 4 years plus with deep substrate. So the deepest I've gone is this tank, and it's probably about 2.5 inches at the thickest.
Yeah, because it's pretty thick to for today's standards. That would have been like the standard back in like in the mid 2000s. That was how my old tanks used to have. Yeah, just about that. And
And it
also, quick
goes up in the
question.
back.
Uh
Oh, it goes up in the back too. But there's a pistol shrimp in there, and he loves digging in it.
huh. Hell yeah. And then, quick question: do you recommend thick gravel or sugar fine, or what do you recommend?
Not sugar fine. I think that blows around too much, especially if you want to do SPS corals. Then as also it depends on your tank. If you want to do SPS corals, I would not do a substrate
Mm-hmm.
because like acros especially, they want that flow. And when you're cranking that flow, this type of sand also blows around too.
Oh yeah, big time. You
So
gotta go with the calcium reactor media,
yep,
and those are like a good 2 3 inches, so it's not even sand anymore.
no. But the rock in an SPS tank should do a lot of the filtration. I mean, in any reef tank, the rock is the main filtration.
Mm-hmm.
And that's already doing a lot. I don't really have a whole lot of rock in the sump either. I've got maybe two pieces in the back chamber.
Oh, right on, right on. And then how much rock do you recommend for your saltwater system? And then how much rock do you recommend for like a freshwater system?
Hmm. I'm not a big rock guy in my freshwater tanks.
Mm-hmm.
I do like some rock to break line of sights and stuff for my cichlids, and it does help fill out scapes. But wood is my go-to for freshwater and plants.
Mm-hmm.
But for saltwater, I really like the Carib Sea life rock. That's what this stuff is here.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't weighed it. I just kind of got enough pieces and made a shape that I like. And
Okay.
I think you should just get more than you need and have fun with it. You know, create different structures. Don't do it just one time and then fill it up. Try different layouts and see what you really like. Because you might find you come the next day, you don't like how a certain thing is in your scape.
Mm-hmm.
So your scape, you should take your time and play with the amount of rock that you want, especially with the fish that you want. If you got like a bunch of big tangs and they need a ton of swimming space, I wouldn't do a ton of big rock. that's getting in their way. But if you got like royal grommas and firefish and gobies, stuff that wants to live in the rock, then you got to make sure those fish have their different territories and places to be safe.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Uh, and then another question: do you recommend man-made rock or natural fossilized coral?
I like the man-made rock, but if you can get just one piece of real live coral that's been in the system
Mm-hmm.
for years, like 5, 7 years. I've got one piece of dead coral that's been in a sump for 7 years, almost 8 years now since I've had it. And I think that really helped boost my diversity and copepods and a bunch of other stuff that came in the tank. So this
Yeah.
tank,
Mm-hmm.
it was set up about 6 months ago, but the rock was used from the old tank where I got the fish from, and it's about 2 years old. So it kind of like instant cycled this tank. I didn't wait 30 days or nothing. I just set it up with salt water, put all the live rock in, put some corals and fish in there, called it good.
Man, that tank looks amazing. There's so many saltwater questions I want to ask, but we're still heading on. We're still talking about a little bit of rock. So transition, man, that shit looks beautiful. So I also agree. When you add a rock from a real stabilized system, it definitely brings a lot of biodiversity and like how you said, it's the instant cycle. And honestly, guy, from my experience, I have both. I have both. Well, I'm mostly I use real reef rock because that's what I have right now. But I've also used the man-made stuff. And honestly, bro, there is I don't think there's much of a difference. I mean, there is a difference, but at the same time, they both do the same thing. If that makes sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And
you definitely notice the pores and stuff, but other than that, it's pretty much the same thing.
yeah, yeah, I agree. I've used the Marco rock and the Carib Sea rock. It's good.
Hmm. Yeah,
Hello.
definitely. The added benefit that you don't put stress on the reef, so that's always a huge plus. And then I wanted to transition also to freshwater. So you said you really like using wood. The do you have a difference between real wood or fossilized or petrified wood?
I haven't used the petrified wood. I just use whatever wood I can find at a fish store or out in nature.
Mm-hmm.
And petrified wood, there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't like the look of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just try to find like natural branches and wood pieces. Leaves. Leaves are a cool thing to add in freshwater tanks.
Right on. And then what kind of rocks do you like to add in the freshwater system, and how much of them?
Mostly river rocks and dragonstone. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's kind of
Yeah, I know.
pointy. It's got a lot of features on it.
I know exactly how it looks. And then like if people want to know how it exactly looks, uh, so I'm not trying to look for it. No, that's cool. Uh, and
Yeah.
and then how much do you just add? You just add a little bit just for like to make the aquascape look nice, or
Yeah, add a bit to make the aquascape look nice. And it also depends on the layout, if it's going to be like a wood only or a rock only layout.
mm-hmm.
I've done that before. They're called Iwaguni style aquascapes, and where it's
Okay.
just all dragonstone.
And
And
unaguni, that sounds Japanese.
yeah, Iwaguni is Japanese. I believe Takashi Amano, the guy from ADA, started that, or something like that. But It's just a cool style of building a freshwater tank. Minimal amount of plants.
Yeah, I agree. There's like I said, to me, like I aquascape my freshwater. Like if it's a saltwater, I like to have a lot of open like I guess you could say you know how in your tank, just using your tank as an example, you see how there's a lot of sand and all the rock is built onto as minimal surface area on the sand bed. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love carrying that concept into the freshwater system. And then for how am I talking about myself? And then in the sand bed, I just love having like just like one type of plant just covering the whole sand. I mean, or the gravel, but everybody
Yep.
has their own
Perfect.
thing. Uh-huh. Right on, right on. Uh, so anyways, let's talk about a little bit of saltwater since we got that saltwater right in there. All right, so when do you recommend people to add like their first fish? Or what do you people do have to do to add in order like to have their first coral or something like that in there?
As soon as you get some established bacteria into that tank, you can add coral. And honestly, if you got coral with frag plugs, you can put them in a brand new tank, and I think you would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because the
Right.
coral frag plug or the coral rock that is coming on, it's going to have bacteria on it, and it's going to get that cycle started. And then you can add like a little hermit crab and slowly test things and make sure nothing's going crazy.
Okay.
The
Okay.
first couple of months should be testing almost daily,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't have to if you have a lot of established bacteria in there. But I
Mm-hmm.
do recommend testing new tanks every so often just to make sure the cycle is going along nicely.
Heck yeah. And then I want to build off on what Atkins said and what he's saying. So there's no fish in the system. All he's saying is you add the coral frag plug, and the frag plug's gonna have all the algae and all the bacteria that's gonna eventually grow and sustain the whole ecosystem. And if you only have one coral frag plug, like a small little coral that's not gonna produce a lot of waste, uh, that all the algae and bacteria, all the micro life is gonna actually be able to consume all the bad shit that the coral's releasing, and the coral's still gonna be alive. That's what he's saying. But when you start adding fish in at the same time, that's when you fuck shit up. Well, it's gonna be a lot harder for you. Is that kind of what you're saying? Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You get
Yeah.
some bacteria in there. I mean, even I don't know if the bottled bacteria stuff works. I don't use it,
Uh-huh.
uh, but yeah, just take it slow. You know, if you think you're ready, then just try it. Keep testing, and as long as nothing obvious is alarming, like ammonia or nitrites, then I would add life into your tank as soon as possible instead of waiting 30 days with
Mm-hmm.
nothing in the tank, adding ammonia and bottled bacteria and going super slow, getting all these algae problems. That's what I see in doing it that way. This
Mm-hmm.
way, I've had no algae. I've had diatoms. I mean, that's to be fair, but really, it's been super easy. No turf algae, no bryopsis, no cyano, a little bit of dinos when my nutrients plummeted, but
Mm-hmm.
they are pretty much kicked back pretty good, just a little bit on a couple zoas and the xenia. But get getting the nutrients up now. The nitrates are at 7, so that's good.
Right on. And how does your cleanup crew look like?
So for cleanup crew, I've got quite a bit. I've got a long spine urchin, a diadema, something like that. I've got
Mm-hmm.
Nacerius snails, turbo snails, Trocus snails, blue leg hermits, and a red leg hermit, and a tail spot blenny. He does a really good job.
Hell yeah. And then that pretty much contributes to why you don't have that much algae in there. And that brings another thing. What's important of having a fish or selecting fish or livestock that actually consume algae versus having like predators that, or yeah, mostly predators that eat like just protein and stuff.
So you definitely should have a mix because it's just less work on your end of scraping and cleaning stuff. And having an algae eater is just easier on the bio load in general. It's less protein going into the system. But
Hmm.
I found putting nori in does bring the phosphates up quite a bit. So,
Oh yeah. Oh
but
yeah, definitely.
the micro predators do play a role, like mandarin dragonets and wrasses. They're picking at things all day long. They do have their role, and it also depends on like what you want to look at, the aggression of the fish in the tank,
Hmm.
uh, and also your filtration. If you don't have a beefy enough filtration, you can have a nutrient spike pretty quick in the long term.
Okay, okay. And then and bringing that concept of cleanup crew, how is important a cleanup crew in the fresh water, or do people even think about cleanup crews in fresh water?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of freshwater fish are the cleanup crew that I
Hmm.
keep, like plecos, gobies. Uh, I have one freshwater goby that is an algae eater. He's pretty cool,
Hmm.
but a lot of fish eat plants too.
Oh yeah. And there's always like shrimps and like crabs and lobsters and shit like that also, right? And
Yeah, but
yeah, those.
there's not a whole lot. I mean, I've got ram's horn snails and some orange neocaridina shrimp in a couple of the planted tanks, but
Hmm.
and autocinklus. They're like a micro pleco almost.
Yeah, I know what autos are. Yeah, oh, or I know. Well, maybe we should look for people, but autos, yeah, they're like little. I guess you could say they're little plecos. I don't know.
Yeah, they're like a little armored pleco. They only get to about an inch and a half, 2 inches. They're
Yeah, the
really cool little algae eater.
autosyncluses or whatever they're called. I don't know. I've never know how to pronounce their full name, but yeah, they're little black, white striped fish, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about. Oh, they remind me of like baby engineering gobies almost.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Only really really tiny. I love autos. People that don't know what autos are, I say look it up, but I can't even fucking don't even know how to spell autos. Fuck it. So, anyways, so right on, right on. And then
What up,
you said,
co-reefing?
and then yeah, so shout outs to co-reefing RG, Guillermo Chucan. Shout outs to everybody that's in the live. And then I wanted to ask you a question, Atkins. Atkins, you said you could add your first coral. What do you recommend people would add for their first coral, and when to really add it, honestly, like for a beginner?
So, I mean, I'm still a beginner too, kind of,
Uh-huh. When did you add your
but
first coral? Uh-huh.
I added them pretty quick. But I have a bunch of easy stuff like Zoas and Duncans, Fabias. I've got an Alveopora, which is supposed to be difficult, but it's still chucking along. Feeling pretty good right here. That guy.
What do you recommend someone to try out for the first time?
I would say toadstool leather.
A toadstool leather.
Yep. You keep a toadstool leather alive, you'll be good. And they're pretty cool. They're like my favorite soft coral.
Right on. And then for people that struggle with the toadstools, because a lot of people it melts on them. What do you recommend for them to do?
Um, don't blast it with light. Put it, in a corner where it's getting less par. Make
Mm-hmm.
sure it's getting enough flow too, so that it can shed its slime thing, mucus coating, whatever. What what leathers do? They shed their mucus, or what I think it's called.
Yeah, they show their outer coating and they kind of grow.
Yeah, but most
They,
importantly is making sure your nutrients are not bottoming out, because soft corals really do like a lot of nutrients.
mm-hmm. And then those are leathers right there, guys, on the screen right there. If you don't know what a leather looks like.
Yep.
Oh, right on. So you recommend those, right on. I remember my first coral was actually a zoanthid. It was a green and then and a red zoanthid. I haven't seen that variant in a long time, honestly. But maybe I should have kept them. But I didn't keep them because they multiplied fast. uh, well, anyways, what was the time frame when you added your first coral into the system? When you actually first set it up?
So for this tank, it was pretty quick. It was like not even a week of running with salt water,
Uh huh.
and I added all the rock and all the coral from the guy's tank and just kind of rolled with it. Nothing bad happened. I haven't lost any coral. The only coral I've lost is when I bought one from the store. It
Mm-hmm.
didn't. It just didn't do too hot from the start.
Mm-hmm. Right on. So let's say if you have some experience, you recommend a week. But on your first tank, when was the first time you actually added a coral?
On my first tank, I think it was maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I let it run with rock and algae, macroalgae, caulerpa,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I added a Kenya tree.
That was your first coral. And
Yeah, that was my first coral. Was a Kenya tree.
then how did it do? Or you still got it?
Still got it.
That's
It's
what's
got
up, bro.
it turned into two Kenya trees now.
Damn. Yeah, those multiply like crazy, and they spit little baby Kenyas everywhere.
Although I've been able to keep it pretty small.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's what's up.
because
That's what's up.
yeah, I think it's because it's getting blasted with light. It's just
Mm-hmm. And then and then a quick question. Well, when did you started having like stone corals, either like the large polyp corals? When did he start adding those in?
probably not till like 8 months later. I got a candy cane,
Uh
and that's that candy cane right there. It started with two heads, and now it has seven.
huh. Fuck, I remember that shit, bro. I remember there was a coral that you were struggling with. Oh, it was an A can. Did you lose that A can that you had?
Oh yeah, it's a dry skeleton in my box now,
Okay, okay.
along
See,
with uh, along
right
with
on.
the SPS skeletons.
Fuck them.
Although my
Uh-huh.
Monty, I put it on the substrate and
Mm-hmm.
it's coming back. It's got polyps now.
Oh, for reals? Oh shit.
Yeah, it like totally bleached out because I put it right there where that white spot is,
Yeah.
and it's like right underneath my AI prime. And I think
Damn.
I just bleached it, so I dropped it.
Yeah, and then how did he know it was still alive? Did it have skin on it or polyps on it or how did it look? You can still hear me, bro? Oh man. Hold on, guys. Let's see. No, we're still good. Hey Ian,
Yep, I'm
Atkins.
back. Sorry.
Oh, okay, okay. I was like, fuck, did I fuck my shit up again? I even put testing on the on
Nope, you're
on
good.
on StreamYard. All right, all right. Uh, I forgot what the question was, but anyways, uh, so anyway, let's move on to lighting. So what kind of lights are you using, bro? I know you kind of mentioned. Oh yeah, I remember my question. So when that Monty was dying, did it still have polyps on it, or did he just have skin on it, or you just saw pure skeleton and you just moved it down, or what made you think that it was still alive and kept it in the tank?
It still had tissue,
It still had
and
tissue.
it still had like some orange color to the polyps.
Oh shit. Okay, okay. So you just figured they were closed up, like
Yeah,
at the edge of dying.
at the edge of dying. Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
right on.
Hopefully it does better now. Just chilling on the sand,
No,
but
honestly,
I'll
bro,
put it back on the rock just after the color comes back.
it starts growing again. Nah,
Yeah,
I think it'll come back. And honestly, bro, I think you should get more Monties. I think they should start growing. I think you should be able to start growing them now, for sure.
yeah. I want to get a couple Monties. I don't want too many SPS. I only want like two or three big colonies that are just colorful.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
now I definitely want a purple stylo.
I know those shits look nice when they're big. From all the colors, what's your favorite style of the purple?
Yeah, the purple.
Yeah, there's yeah. I
I saw one that had green tips, purple with green tips. That was really nice.
damn hell yeah, that's what's up. The
But
green growth strip.
The OG purple stylo, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, big time. And like I said, there's like green, pink. There's a whole bunch of different colors. And like I said, stylos are their own group of coral. And like I said, we all love stylos. We all love all the corals.
Yep.
Uh, what's your favorite SPS then?
Mm, I would have to say Acropora miliopora,
Mm-hmm.
just because of the shaggy polyps.
Oh yeah, I love that
Shaggy polyps
shaggy.
on them.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely love
So I
them.
think I definitely want to try a milli eventually, but I'm still not automatically dosing, manually dosing all for reef
Uh huh.
because there's only a few stony corals and it doesn't move a whole lot. My alkalinity or calcium.
Yeah. If they're not really moving, you don't really dose, huh? Do you gravel vac that tank, or what's your maintenance on that tank?
Nope. I've touched the sand bed once and I lost like half of my amphipods. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not ever doing that again.
Uh-huh.
So I just let the Sarius snail and the pistol shrimp clean the sand. I'm thinking about adding a conch to the sand.
Mm-hmm. Like,
Maintenance is like off and on water changes. When my protein skimmer bottomed out everything, I haven't done a water change, but I did a water change this weekend because my nitrates were getting up, and also alkalinity was getting low. So I just did a quick water change, got that back up, and continuing the dose to keep it up that level.
mm-hmm.
Just
And
because I
how
didn't want to have to dose a whole lot. Yeah, it did help.
and how big's
Notice, oh,
how big's that system? My bad, G.
oh, you're all good. It's a 30-gallon display tank with a 15-gallon sump.
Okay.
Give take away a few gallons because of the rock and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's 45 gallons. It's the water box Marine 45.2. So
Yeah,
it's got a all-in-one filter chamber in the back. There's also drilled at the bottom with a sump.
Yeah. So you get to convert whichever method you want, basically.
Yeah, I don't know if I've shown you my new protein skimmer yet.
Nah, I haven't seen it.
Uh,
I'm definitely interested in protein skimmers for small tanks. Hey, what do you consider to be a nano tank?
anything below like 50 gallons. I think my tank's a nano tank, but
Yeah, I would
because
say
some of these
uh
reefs, they're really meant to be big.
yeah. I think for me a nano is like a 30 gallon or less.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like 40 gallons is kind of like 40 to 50 gallons is kind of like those transition iffy, like you can't really tell. Oh shit, hey, what kind of skimmer is that?
It's the Simplicity 120 DC.
Okay. Is there a preference between using direct current versus alternating current?
Yeah, you can control the power of the pump, which controls the airflow too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just nicer to control that way. And it's quieter.
Hey, does that pump also could you control the water level like a traditional skimmer through just spinning the
Yep.
thing?
It's got a water level adjustment, and it also has a air silencer where you can fine tune the air amount. But I just let the controller run it. I don't have the air silencer on it. Didn't come with it. I got it used.
Oh, I see, I see.
Yeah, it's good though. I cleaned it up with the citric acid bath, and it bottomed out my nitrates in 2 weeks.
No, that's cool.
So
So do you rec
I'm
do what's your feelings on skimmers?
I think they're good. I They just need to be sized properly to the system. My skimmer is rated for 120 gallon lightly stocked,
Uh-huh.
and I have it on a 45 gallon system. So it is pretty big, but it did work pretty good, and it wasn't like overflowing like crazy. That I've heard stories of skimmers doing that when they're oversized. It produced a nice skim. I just think I need to not run it 24/7. Only run it like a few hours at night or something.
Uh-huh.
But I
Has your
think they are
experience
good.
has your experience with skimmer been where like they're running? Like for me, my experience is they're running, and then once you actually feed the tank, you actually start seeing the skimmer actually produce skimming. Is that your experience, or is your shit just keep producing because it's so much shit in there?
I started it up and it instantly started created foam. And
Uh
then like after 2 weeks, it stopped making foam. And I checked my nitrates and they were at zero.
huh. And then after that, that's when it started behaving normally, right? Once you feed it, and then it started actually producing shit. Or if you
No, I
feed
haven't
like,
turned it back on.
oh, for reals?
Yeah, I'm wait till I get a timer and I'll put it on timer for a few hours at night, see how that goes. But
Oh,
right
right
now I got
on.
my nutrients in an okay spot. My phosphates are at 0, 0, which I don't like, but nitrates are okay. They're at 7.
So, do you believe it in chasing the nitrate and phosphate shit? I mean, the numbers or whatever.
I think you need a little bit of it. You don't want to let it bottom out. I don't know about the ratios too much, but I know you need some sort of form of it.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
do you what's your thoughts on liquid nitrate and phosphate over like feeding?
So I've actually got liquid phosphate and nitrate, and
Mm-hmm.
like my 10 gallon, I have to dose nitrates and phosphate because I only have a clownfish and a goby. There's only so much a clownfish and a goby can eat without like really polluting the system. So I dose a little bit of nitrates and phosphates in there.
Right on. So, have you noticed the difference between no dosing nitrates and phosphates into the system?
Yeah, the polyp extension is not as much, especially with LPS in low nutrient systems. They just seem to be more shrunk up, not as extended
Mm-hmm.
or colorful.
Now, do you feel the demands of the SPS coral are different or the same for your other corals?
I'm in no rush to keep SPS corals. Really taking it slow because it is an expensive hobby to get a bunch of corals.
Uh-huh.
But I really just want like just a few really big, nice colonies. Like I've got one hammer that I really just want this hammer right here.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to fill up that whole spot and then have the candy cane underneath it. But I think I'm gonna have to move it so it will get shaded out eventually. And then I've got this side kind of just a bunch of zoanthids. And over here is where I would kind of want to do some SPS, is when it mounted on there and just let it grow up.
Yeah, and
And then I've got an anemone
mm-hmm.
over there.
It looks
He's
pretty
kind
healthy.
of, yeah, he's pretty cool. He likes to sting everything.
You're kind of building everything around him, huh?
Yeah, you can see I've given him a wide berth of any corals.
Yeah, and and then once it starts splitting, and then it'll be like, oh yeah, big time right there, good spot.
Oh yeah, when these, the first time it split, it moved to the glass, and I was able to put it in this box and traded it with a reefer.
Oh, for reals? Hey, well, what kind of a rose is it? Is it the black disc or is it the white disc?
It's a white disc, but it's a rainbow
Right
BTA.
on, right
Most of
on.
the blues are on, like the greens and oranges and blues. The tips are purple.
Mm-hmm. It looks
They're
solid, bro.
really, really nice.
Do your clowns even pay attention to it?
Oh yeah, they sleep in it
Oh,
every
really?
night. Yeah.
Lucky,
If I go
bro.
in there and do any work near the anemone, they get pissed.
That's good, bro. I think the clowns I have, I think they want like a green anemone. So I'm gonna put like a green long tentacle. They really don't like anything red. They only like green stuff. Oh shit, you got a little mandarin, a little spotted mandarin in there.
This is the not the spotted, but the blue mandarin or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, it is a blue mandarin. Sorry, I had to take off my glasses to really look at that shit.
Look at it this way. Yep, these are the new fish that came in today from Biota.
Oh shit, dude. They look clean, bro. I honestly could probably just release them, bro. They look
I probably
clean.
could. He is looking for copepods. He's just like, hey, get me out of this. I want food.
Yeah, I think as long as the clowns release them, man, they're gonna be pretty happy. Leave them alone, they'll be pretty happy, man. They look pretty happy already. They look pest free.
They're supposed to be.
Yeah,
They are supposed to be.
because if you look at their fins, bro.
Yeah, they're super clean.
You know what I mean?
Like I've never seen fish this clean at a fish store, and that's why I don't buy a lot of fish at the fish store.
Yeah, unless they had it for like a good month and they're bullying all the other fish. Always buy the bullies.
Well, and even that, they got them in the same system with fish that are sick.
Yeah, that's true. And that's what I
So
would
like once I
recommend.
see that, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not buying fish out of your system.
Yeah, me personally, I always think a pet store should always have medication in the water for both fresh and salt, and then the plants should be in their own system and their corals.
But they ship the royal drama in that little tube.
That's fucking weird though. That's crazy, bro.
Well, he was in the tube, and it was really easy to get him out. I guess they like to have rocks. They are rock dwelling fish.
Wait, like was there oxygen in the tube or is it like a? Oh, it's a mesh tube. Okay.
Yeah, so like It was in the bag. And yeah, they
Oh,
shipped
okay,
in the
okay.
box.
I was like, what the fuck? No, that's cool. That's cool.
And
No,
I
that's
already fed them. They're already eating too.
damn, bro. When are you gonna release them?
Probably tomorrow. I just want
Um,
them to get their bearings and stuff before I release them. Have these
yeah,
clownfish dogging on them all day. After being in a box for 24 hours, I'm just gonna let them chill.
hell yeah, that's what's up. So hey, so what made you want to convert to freshwater to saltwater, bro?
Well, truth be told, I think I've always wanted a saltwater tank. I just never really did it because I was kind of scared or
Mm-hmm.
intimidated. But to me, it's kind of just the same. It's just a little bit extra steps, and it's a really fun part of the hobby. I think keep both and to really be avid about both and
Mm-hmm.
sustainability and learning the names, where they come from, how to keep them in good care.
Hell yeah. Um, what do you think keeps most people from taking that step from transitioning from fresh to a saltwater, bro?
Budget. Most of the
Budget.
freshwater people that I talk to, their main factor is budget,
And do
or they're
uh-huh.
scared, or they're honestly scared because it's different.
In my opinion, I think it's mostly because they're scared. But in your experience, I mean, you set up the first one. The first one you probably wasted a lot of money figuring shit out. But on this second build, honestly, bro, what do you think the price difference is if you already had the exact same tank and convert it, or not even convert it, but if you were to set up in fresh and salt, let's say you had two tanks, one's fresh and salt, what do you think the price difference it really is, bro?
I don't think it would be too much because if I had my way, if I had like a 4 foot saltwater and a 4 foot freshwater, the only
Mhm.
thing that's going to be like more added to the cost is a protein skimmer and coral light.
Yeah.
Like you can spend thousands of dollars just on a few fixtures covering the 4 foot reef.
Mm-hmm.
In freshwater, you can spend maybe a couple hundred. Well, you can spend some 4 foot fixtures are like $300, $400. So you could spend up to like 600, $900 just to light up a 4 foot reef or a 4 foot freshwater tank.
Yeah,
But
it's
they
pretty
don't
much
need a protein skimmer. But I would totally
uh-huh.
put a freshwater tank on a sump with a roller mat and Inkbird DC return pump. Like I would totally do a freshwater tank like that. But
Yeah, because
doing canister.
all the pros I know, they set up the fresh water as a reef ready tank. You know what I mean?
Mm,
But as your curiosity, do you think it's lack of information on why people in the freshwater hobby don't have like a sump or an all in one system, or what do you think that is that most people don't have a sump or a all in one in their freshwater system?
it's marketing because like you got people like Louisville and Awase
Mm-hmm.
that are sponsoring a bunch of channels and giving out these videos of expensive ass filters
Mm-hmm.
that do very little for the day and age that we are. Like Louisville is still using AC pumps on their canister filters. There's no DC option to convert them. Awase, they have built-in thermo in this pre-filter, but they're still using AC pumps, and their flow is still very low compared to other filters.
Mm-hmm.
And they're marketing this to freshwater people, and I don't know why the majority of them. I just see them. Oh, I'm I'm a fluval canister guy. I'm only running fluval canister filters, which I get, but I think they're way overpriced for what they are. For the same price of a fluval FX6, you could build yourself a nice little sump with a nice DC return pump, a nice ink bird, and a fleece roller mat, and that will destroy the efficiency out of a fluval FX6 because a fleece roller mat will work just fine in freshwater and it will take all the nutrients out, all the poop out. Just throw a couple bags of lava rock in there, and a sump can hold as big as you make the sump, as much media as you want, while a canister is limited. And the fluval canisters just suck the way they have it laid out. You can barely fit a few pounds of media in there. And in a
Yeah,
freshwater tank, media is very important, I think.
I think they're both important. but but going further, what you're saying, when I worked at the pet store, when we had our fresh water systems, we would have them in the sump, and for filtration, we would have bio balls. It would just be a was it what are those, a bio ball sump or whatever. And honestly, man, that shit was way better than fucking emptying out the what do you call it, those it's been so long since I used them, the canister filters, because we only had one canister filter that we had on the fry tank, and honestly, fuck that shit. Uh, all our systems were running through a sump system. You know what I mean? And it's way better, more efficient. And if you don't use a fleece roller, you don't want to invest in that shit. All you need is just even the the socks. You can replace the socks. If you don't want to invest like in a DC pump, you could just always just use a regular alternating current pump, and you pretty much get the same shit at a cheaper price. And that's way better than any canister filter. Canister filters are really good just for like if you use it running like some kind of media. But even then, you could do that on a sump. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But hey, bro. But why do you think, or who do you think really these companies? Who do you think is their target audience on who they want to market their products, bro? Because I'm looking at the saltwater guys. I could tell you about the saltwater guys, but I kind of just stopped paying attention to the freshwater guys. But who do these companies market to the freshwater? Like for example, in the saltwater guys, everybody markets to like well back then to like Jake Adams, what was it? Reef Builders or Inappropriate Reefer or you know these big names. Who are
Yeah.
like the big names that these companies are targeting, or what or what's going on, bro?
So, I mean, like in freshwater, there's not a whole lot, but they're all marketing to beginners. That's their main target audience.
Mm-hmm.
But it channels, I mean, I don't like to say names, but channels like Aquarium Co-op, Cajun
That's the guy I
Tropics,
was gonna say. Because if
they're
it,
they're all marketing towards beginners and not a whole lot towards the more advanced hobbyists.
no,
Which I mean, they do have
uh-huh,
some stuff.
uh-huh.
They do
Uh,
have some, but I do like Aquarium Co-op. I just think they're more beginner friendly, and they definitely helped me out when I was a beginner, and they definitely taught me a whole in the freshwater.
mm-hmm.
But right now, I feel like it's just a lot of marketing to buy stuff,
Yeah, because
and
you're more informed. You had more discoveries in the hobby that made it more easier for you.
dang, my phone dropped all the way down to 15%.
It's all good, G. We'll try to wrap it. Hey, bro, but going with that, bro. Like I feel like the co-op they really taking advantage of all the freshwater guys, and then reef builders they're taking advantage of all the saltwater guys. But even then, there's good benefits in both. But I feel like reef builders is a little bit more open in terms of like testing out products and shit, and being more like devil advocate kind of shit. You know what I mean? They'll question it and put results. The co-op, I feel like he mostly markets for his products that he sells and stuff. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, I
Because
mean, that's
last
exactly
time I
what it is.
remember, he was selling
He's
like these bead filters, and honestly, I would never buy a bead filter, bro. I would like you said, I would just buy an all-in-one system.
well, he makes his own products because he's his own company and
And
retail company.
you can't knock him
So
down for
that's
that.
so he's a business. You know, he's got to do what he's got to do to make
Yeah,
money.
you can't knock him down for that.
Right. But reef builders, they're a totally separate kind of thing. I mean, they're not a company. They're not a business. They are
They
an
taking over the whole
entertainment.
fucking shit.
They're reef
No, they
builders
are,
is a
bro.
magazine.
No,
You know,
no.
they're here to.
Oh, did I say reef builders, bro? Ah, fuck, not reef builders, bro. The other guys, man.
Oh, bulk reef supply.
Bulk reef supply. There you go, bro. My bad. If I
Yeah,
say reef builders,
they're
bro,
also just marketing. They're marketing shit.
no. Bulk reef. They own quite a lot of the hobby, bro. Um,
Oh
a
yeah,
lot
I
of
know.
a
They
lot of
own
big
everything
companies.
now. They
Yeah.
own Neptune. They own Ecotech. They own
So that's what I'm
everybody.
saying. That my bad. If I said reef builders, I scratched all those words and replace it with what was it fucking again? Sorry guys.
Bulk reef supply.
Bulk reef supply. That's what I meant. Bulk reef supply and co-op. They taking over the hobby. Um, in America for sure. You know what I mean? Well, at least all the promos, in my opinion, because then you still got like Reef Dork and all these other guys in Europe, and they got like their own products and stuff that they do over there. But I don't know. It's just my opinion. Anyways, we're switching subject, guy, because we're only like a 15% in your phone. But so what are your plans on with your tank, bro? What do you want to do with that system right there?
So my next plan is to get these fish in here, and I want to try to get an auto doser, get that figured out, and kind of just get everything somewhat automated,
Uh huh.
but not too automated. I just want to be able to feed the fish, clean the glass every day, and not have to worry about dosing or topping off. Like I've got an auto top off.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple more corals I want to get, but not really. Like if I can find a good Trachyphilia for a good price, or like a cool plate coral for a good price, that would be nice. But I'm waiting to get a good deal on a small group of SPS. But first, I got to get my alkalinity, calcium, magnesium stable.
Oh, right on, right on. Yeah, bro. I mean, I can't wait until you're able to get some SPS. I want to see what your choice selections would be. That's pretty cool, man. Because everybody has their own selection of coral. Well, what's your favorite
Yeah,
coral, bro?
I definitely think LPS, like
Any specific
hammers,
kind? Hammer.
hammers, Alveopora, really, like really, but there's just so many to like pick one type.
Yeah.
Like soft corals will always hold a place in my heart, like Stannietta and cabbage, leathers, toadstool leathers. Like my 10-gallon tank is strictly just softies. And it's got
hmm
green star polyps and all that. It's just super easy. I don't have to dose nothing. I haven't done a water change in a month. I just feed the fish.
hmm That's what's up, G. You have clowns in both tanks, huh?
Yep, I've got one clown in the upstairs tank.
Oh,
I
right on,
had
right
two
on.
clowns, but the other clown died.
So you plan on replacing it, or what do you plan on doing with the other one?
I don't know. I mean, this one clown's been alone for so long. Might just keep him alone.
Right on,
I
right
might
on.
if I find another one that I like. But
No, that's cool. That's cool, bro. Uh, see, I'm trying to think of what else to say, but is there anything else
yeah,
you want to share, bro? What else? Trying to think of what else to say.
um, I don't use RODI water.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
a lot of
And you said,
people give me hell for that, but it's okay because I know it's in my tap water, and I definitely know how I'm filtering it. If you haven't seen it,
hmm do you think is that why you can't keep the SPS corals in there because of the tap water?
I think that was part of it in the beginning, but also because I wasn't dosing and my nitrates and phosphates too low. It was just a mixture of all bad things and tap water because
Uh-huh.
I was just using prime to dechlorinate, but now I've got this filter system.
I don't even know what this. There's so many systems. I don't even know what the fuck they're called. what's
It's
this?
just
What's the Stouffer system or whatever?
yeah, it's just a carbon block system. Got a sediment filter, 5 micron, and then 5 micron carbon block, and then this is a 1 micron carbon block. This is a flow restrictor valve, elbows, all push connect fittings, and shut off valve. Yeah, that's all the parts for it.
It's almost like a RO filter minus the RO membrane.
Yep, pretty much just minus the RO membrane and DI stage, because I
Mm-hmm.
have no GH or KH in my tap water. It registers like nothing
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the test.
Cause I'm gonna get an RO unit pretty soon, for sure on my shit. Cause yeah, fuck that. My tap water, I could already smell like metals and shit in it. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I
Fuck
do
that.
test the TDS coming out. I haven't tested it coming out of the filter, but
Mm-hmm.
I've only tested it coming out of my tap.
All
But
right,
I
on.
lost my TDS pen. I don't know where it is.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Man, but the system looks like it's able to keep SPS corals for. I think you should just try a couple Montes or something in there and see what happens.
Yeah, definitely gonna get some Monties. I want to get a floating Monty that I can put on the back. Just
Like
have it.
a green or a red.
I like the purple ones
The purple
in
ones.
because I know it looks a little bit more blue right now, but to my eye, it's more of a white spectrum.
Yeah, yeah. No, the purple plates are underrated for sure. And there, what's your favorite coral, man?
I'd have to say this hammer.
Oh yeah, big time. It's a great looking hammer right there, bro. What's your favorite color hammers?
Um, I really like the copper ones. This one has a really nice metallic look to it,
Okay.
but I also really like the gold hammers too. Orange hammers. Have you seen the like
Mm-hmm.
all orange hammers, man? Those are nuts.
Yeah, man.
And they got
I
a big price tag to go with them, so that's why I ain't got no of those.
How much you pay for that hammer? 40?
Um, it was $50,
50 bucks? Yeah, that's out an
but it
average.
came with some Zoanthids and that Monty.
Oh, right on.
So yeah,
No, that's cool. That's cool. And then for your lighting, what light spectrum do you run? Like, is it like a 10K, a 25K?
it kind of runs like a 10 to 12K in the afternoon for about 4 or 5 hours, and
Uh-huh.
then it ramps to like a 20K in the beginning and into the day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you get all the spectrums in, huh? So you prefer the daylight or you prefer the bluer spectrum?
I definitely prefer daylight,
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's definitely a different look to the tank for sure.
and that's how you get those purple colors in corals to pop is with that daylight spectrum. I've noticed in the blue lights they just black out.
Yeah, they look
They're
brown or
they,
black. It's like a
yeah,
it
they
looks
just don't
dark.
glow.
I agree because the Kenya tree that I got on my little tank, it only looks like actual little Kenya tree when it's in white spectrum. But I have it on blue because I want to color up the anemones.
Yeah, and I feed the tank once a day, sometimes twice a day. I feed the corals about once a week, twice a week. Sometimes I skip a week.
And what do you feed, bro?
I feed, I think I got it. Reefroids, reef chili. So this is my bottle of roids, my bottle of reef chili.
Hey, which one you like more,
And
the Rift Chili or the Reefroids?
I like the chili because it's like an actual mixture of different things, where the reefroids is pretty much just dried phyto
Uh-huh.
or zooplankton or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like the reefroids for my alveopora and just broadcast feeding. The reef chili I like spot feeding for the LPS. And I'll also feed the LPS reef nutrition TDO pellets.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah, that's what's up. You feed them actual coral pellets.
It's technically a fish pellet, but
Yes. I know they make dedicated fish pellets now. I mean coral pellets. Hey, what do you feed your anemone?
I feed it like frozen brine and mysis and pellets. It really likes pellets,
I know for reals, huh? What kind of pellets? Well,
especially the TDO.
okay,
Yeah, I keep
man.
that in the fridge. I ain't got that on hand. Another good pellet is the for your herbivores seaweed extreme from Hikari.
Oh yeah,
I feed that for my little blenny.
yeah. There's a green one and then there's a red one.
Hmm. And I also just got this Easy Reefs mastic.
Is that the one that you stick on the glass or something and your fish start eating?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Hey, do they like that shit, bro? Is it good?
Well, I just got it today with the fish
Oh,
because that's what they're used to eating. The
yeah, yeah.
fish, I put a little bit into their little acclimation box,
Uh-huh.
and they were pecking at it. The other fish don't seem to know what to do with it, but it's gone, so looks like they ate it. I only put a little bit in,
Oh, right on, right on.
and I also do amino acids. I do
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
Brightwell Coral Amino, the Red Sea AB Plus, Brightwell uh, Amino Omega for the fish.
Uh-huh. Do your
Yeah, I
fish
do
like
like.
that? Uh-huh.
Yeah, I soak up the pellets and stuff before I feed them.
Oh, right on. I never used that one. I have the a coral amino, but I don't have the fish one.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. It's like got two layers in it almost, so you gotta like shake it up
Mm-hmm.
to get it to mix.
Okay.
But it does definitely cloud the water a little bit.
Oh, I see, I see.
So I only use a little bit. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
put like mainly water to soak up the pellets, and then I'll just put like one or two drops into the food. Let that soak it.
Oh, I see, I see. And then for your fish disease, do you ever had to deal with fish disease or any coral pests or anything like that?
Mm, I thought I got rid of the vermented snail, but apparently the super glue came off of it and it's back.
Ah,
So
shit.
I'm gonna take it's on the base of my hammer, so I'm just going to take my hammer out and clip it.
Definitely do that
Should be
shit,
fine.
bro. Do it before it
I didn't
spreads,
I
man.
didn't yeah, I didn't have the clips when I did that, but it's still small and not able to reproduce yet. So
Definitely do it now. I hate those shits, man. That's why.
I've
That's why.
got
That's why I have this. My the euphyllia I got. That's why I have it in this anemone tank because it came from a tank that has vermilion snails. So I'm keeping an eye on it. Full
yeah, man,
disclosure.
those things they're just ugly. I don't want them. I've got feather worms like the white calcium worms with the little dusters coming out.
Oh yeah, those are fine. Those are cool.
Yeah, I've got like hundreds of those just all over the rock. I don't know if you can like see how many are just
Oh, right on. No, no, those are
everywhere.
cool. Those are cool.
And there's
Hopefully,
also sponges and coralline algae, and
uh
this
huh.
mushroom is pissed.
Yeah. Damn,
We
bro,
got
but
a fragozoas.
your little candy canes, man, they really fucking grew.
Yeah, that I have a skeleton of one right there. That one is the only coral that died in this tank so far.
Nah, fuck it. What kind of polyps
Yeah,
do you have? I know they look like really fast growing zoas, bro.
yeah, these
Look
ones.
at those, man. They look like they're already taking over right there.
Yeah, these are the mohawk cylanthids, and there's also sunny bees, bam bams, twizzlers. There's some purple ones. I don't know the name of them, but they seem to
Mm-hmm.
be growing pretty slow. The purple ones.
And it's always the nice ones that grow slow,
Well,
huh? Damn. Yeah, that's what I mean. When I set up my new tank, it's gonna have zero polyps. Besides maybe my Rastas and if I get them, the little shop of horrors. But I don't really don't like adding polyps or certain soft corals to my system. Man, but everything
yeah.
looks cool, man. Anything else you want to share with us, bro? What else you got for us, bro? Before we start closing it up, wrapping it up.
I know you like rainbows,
Oh yeah, the rainbows, man. Those are pretty cool.
so I know they don't look like much now, but these are a pretty rare rainbow, Velociraptor swanamensis,
Uh-huh.
and they get pretty big, and they get like really long fins. They're like emerald green,
They're already pretty long. Damn.
but they're pretty
That's
small
obviously
right
a that's obviously a male right there, and the one in the
now. Yep,
back looked
that's
like a
the male.
female.
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's another male. This
It's
one's
hard
the
to tell.
female. I know this
Oh
one's
yeah,
definitely.
yeah, that one's definitely more likely a female for sure.
And I've got this fat freshwater goby and a couple other fish in there. Bunch of plants.
So how many tanks do you have total?
I have 19 freshwater tanks and 2 saltwater. I'll show you
Damn.
my oldest saltwater tank. It's really just stable. Almost hit 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
In May, it'll be 2 years old.
That's what's up.
Yep, I'm at 4%. So I will show you this and then we will bounce.
Yeah, because I remember that first tank was the first one you had, and you had a whole bunch of soft coral in it.
There it is.
Bam, simple setup right there, guys. You guys could have that easily.
Yep, super simple. It's the control board I built,
Mm-hmm.
ATO. Definitely get an ink bird for your tank if you ain't got one yet.
Is that Gobi? Oh, the clown in there also. I was like, is that the only Gobi in there?
Yup, that's
Is it,
my yellow watchman. And there is a pistol shrimp in here too.
that's what's up. They
And
paired off, right? Yeah.
yep, they're paired off. Sometimes they're not always together, but they definitely are most of the time. And I've got a fire shrimp in there. This is my toadstool.
Man, that toadstool is solid. Hey, I've been thinking about grabbing a toadstool also. I might grab a toadstool, man, pretty soon.
You should, man. They're super cool.
I know, just I don't have I
Yeah,
don't have
plus,
room for them. But, damn, that one's solid right there, bro. Those Xenia, the pulsing ones, pom poms, right?
yeah, pom poms in here.
Those are solid right there. Those are one of my favorite Xenias. Those and the ones that turn when they close. I forgot what they're called.
Have a big old GSP mound. But the colors aren't the best because nutrients are still pretty low.
Mm-hmm. Nah, man, everything looks solid right there, bro. It looks pretty healthy. Yeah, there's a little pistol shrimp. I wonder if people put like two of them in there, like two of each, like a male and female of
I've
both.
I've thought about it.
I know.
Sometimes he
Uh
digs
huh.
straight to the flat, and you can see the little burrows they build under the rock.
Oh
But
yeah, it looks solid, man.
there's not a whole lot going on down there.
No, but that toadstool looks pretty healthy, bro.
Yeah, I'm hoping it'll just take up this whole spot.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
It's got a Nero 3 and a Chem title, lots of salt creep,
Not too bad, not too bad. That's normal.
and a Nycrew marine LED. Not fancy. It was $60 on Amazon.
Looks good,
Got
bro.
two color channels, royal blue and white.
It looks solid, man. What kind of lights do you have on your other system?
The other tank is an AI Prime.
Oh, the AI Prime. That's right. And you're gonna upgrade to that one light you showed me, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a blade. That's also another upgrade. I do
Mm-hmm.
swap it
Yes,
out
yeah.
for the blade because the blade has more coverage.
Yeah, because I was looking at other people, they're growing SPS under it, so it looks like a good light.
Yeah, but it's still very new, so we don't know. And from what I can see, it doesn't have all the color spectrums like an AI Prime. So
Mm-hmm.
I might have the AI Prime with the the AI blade doing a little bit of supplemental to get rid of the low par in the edges.
Yeah, yeah. Because the most tanks they struggle with the low power at the edges for sure. That's why people just put like soft corals in there.
But look how these Zoas are just stretching for the light. I mean, they're almost like an inch and a half, 2 inches, just
Oh
trying
yeah,
to
they're trying to.
reach
They're
for it.
definitely reaching for the light for sure. Because once you blast them with light, their stock
They
becomes
stay short.
shorter. Yeah.
Yeah, see, under the light, you can see they're short. But yeah, I like a little bit lower light. Lower light's better than higher light.
Oh yeah, big time.
Well, I'm gonna bounce off of here before my phone fully dies on me. Thank you for having me up. I really do appreciate it.
All right, big dog. Hey, last question. What's your future of your channel, bro?
The future of my channel is to keep sharing the good faith of aquariums and how we keep our fish happy and healthy and share our experience with others and hopefully inspire them.
All right. Well, with that, we'll end it and we're out of here, guys. Unless there's anything else you want to add to that, we're out of here. All right, guys. And that's it. Over and out, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys learned a little bit, and I'm pretty sure we'll have more guests and more entertainment for you guys. All right, guys. So see you guys next time.